Welcome everyone to the next installment of the Collaborative Circle, brought to you by the Long Island Collaborative Divorce Professionals. I am joined today for a professional spotlight of my colleague and friend, Canadé. Catherine is an experienced collaborative divorce attorney and mediator, and she focuses her practice exclusively now in those areas. Catherine, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Jackie. Great to be here.
So Catherine has written a piece that is available on our website. And upon reading it, I was surprised to learn that she started her career as a litigator, a civil litigator. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you went from a litigator to exclusively practicing in mediation and collaborative?
Sure. So when I came out of law school, I took a job at a big New York City firm in the civil litigation department. But while I was doing that on the side, I did some pro bono work for a large organization that served women who were victims of domestic violence. And as part of that, we had a hearing before the judge, and the case involved a woman who had gotten cancer and was in a terrible financial situation. And I thought the judge would really see her point of view and really give thought and an opportunity for her to change the child support amount that she was requesting. Unfortunately, we lost that case on a technical rule of evidence. But in fact, the lead attorney and I felt it was because the judge had a personal relationship with the attorney for the dad. And so from my point of view, justice wasn't served. I was quite demoralized by that outcome. And I felt there has to be a better way to help people and to help people in those situations. And it just so happened that the lead attorney on that case was starting a mediation project at the organization. And we started talking about that. And she's like, Catherine, you should look into that. Does that sound interesting to you? And so I did the mediation training shortly thereafter, and I found my people. And I was so thrilled that I found a way that I could practice in that area of law in a way that I felt much better about, with colleagues that is so wonderful, like yourself, that is so wonderful to work with. So that's how I made the transition. And that was many years ago, more than 10 years ago now. And I'm so lucky to be practicing exclusively out of court now as a mediator and a collaborative attorney.
Right. And having come to know you over the past few years, it really is just a perfect fit for your personality and your strengths.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
And you also, if you don't mind talking about this, bring a unique perspective because you are someone who has been through a collaborative divorce yourself. So I'd be interested to hear how you feel that impacts the way you work with families now in your own practice.
Yeah, that was many, many years ago now, many years, way before I started my own practice, way before I was collaboratively trained anyway, just as a person looking for a way to separate and divorce, a better way than a traditional practice. I found collaborative just through research, found collaborative attorneys. My spouse was willing to go along with that. And so we did go through the collaborative process without any training on my part, although I did write my own parenting plan. I did that. But in terms of the process, it was new to me. And I am able to look back on that now and see what I liked and what I didn't like about it. And it made me a much better collaborative attorney seeing it from the other side. You know, we all can talk about it and try to do best practices, but there's nothing like being the actual client to see it from a different perspective. Yeah. So I thought that was very helpful for me.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Mm-hmm.
Sure it was.
Yeah.
And in your article, I was struck by a line that you wrote that collaborative, in your opinion, is the best way to honor the fact that however your modern family looks, you will be family forever. So I was just interested to hear you elaborate a bit more on that sentiment.
Yeah. So I do talk to my clients when they call me and to talk about process options. You know, the fact that you're going to be co-parents forever. Some people have less or more conflict, but a lot of our clients have a reasonable level of conflict and a reasonable communication style, and they're working on improving communication. And so the collaborative process allows people to honor the past, in that we had a relationship. You, as a client, have a relationship. You have children from that relationship. Sometimes, some people don't, but in my case, we did. And then you're going to be parents forever and grandparents forever. I have a grandson now, and so not only is my children's father in my life as a father to my children, but as the grandfather. And we recently visited with my grandson, with my daughter, and we were really good great grandparents together. And it felt really good. And I think my daughter and my grandson had a great time with us. So I think not destroying that relationship through the process. People say you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. Things are said sometimes in a more traditional process through lawyers or on a witness stand if you need be. And then you can't unsay it. And you could apologize later, but it's not the same as not saying it to begin with. So I think if you can choose the collaborative process or mediation, long term, it will serve the family better.
And, I'm just thinking about this too. Sometimes in the collaborative process, you can continue with a couple, with a family.
Certainly the family support specialist, I think it's a great role for them. I've had cases where the family support specialist has continued with the couple as the children grow and the needs change. And they were grateful to have had that support to start with and then ongoing. I've had several cases where that was the case. And that's why I feel like the team approach is so wonderful, because that professional gets to know them very well. And even if they don't need legal advice, they might need parenting advice, conflict resolution advice, and the family support specialist could provide that.
Absolutely. Well, Catherine, thank you so much for joining me today. This was a great opportunity for people who may be watching to get to know you a little bit better. And I hope and would encourage anyone who's watching to contact any of us or our colleagues at the Long Island Collaborative Divorce Professionals. We're always here to answer any questions you may have about the process.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity.